Good morning, students. Today in this lecture, we will discuss about the basic electronics components and equipments. So first of all, we will see here the basic electronics components. We have classified our components in two parts. First one is the passive components. So if we are talking about the passive component, so that is based on the resistance, capacitance, inductance. So these are the resistor, capacitor, inductors. These are called as a passive components. And active components are again further classified. So we have already divided our active components: semiconductor diode, Zener diode, varactor diode, unijunction transistor diodes. So these are the our active components. Vacuum tube devices, as we have to already used in our previous year, gas tube devices, photosensitivity devices. So that is a basically gas photodiodes, photomultiplier tubes. So these are the light emitting diodes. So these are based on the working principle. We have classified these active components in the four categories. Now, first of all, we will see about the passive devices. So, in passive devices, we first of all take the resistors. What about the resistors and what is the basic property of our resistors? So, if we are talking about the resistor is an electronic component that has the electrical friction. So, we are talking about the friction means it will oppose the flow of electrons, oppose the flow of current. So, that is basically a electrical friction. So this friction opposes the flow of electrons. Basically, flow of electrons is responsible for the flow of current. So that is the same thing. That is basically friction opposes the flow of electrons and thus reduces the voltage placed on other electronic components by restricting the amount of current that can pass through it. So basically this is offer the resistance. So that is a basically, if you are talking about the resistance, means it is oppose the flow of current in our circuit. There are many different types of resistors we are using in our electronic devices, and each type is made from a different materials. So resistors are also made to handle different amounts of electrical current. So there are properties according to their materials which we have to make, and property of that particular material ki how it will react in our circuitry. So that is made that they are made from different materials, and electrical power will also different handled by the different amounts. So some resistors may change their value when voltage are placed across them. So these are called voltage dependent resistors, and this type of resistor we will call it as a non-linear resistors. So this is the basic classification. According to their property, we have to define the resistances. Most resistors are designed to change their value when temperature of resistor changes. So that is the basically property of resistor. Ki when temperature changes, their resistance value will also be changes. So that is called as a thermistor. Some resistors also made with a control attached that allows the user to mechanically change the resistance. So these are called as a variable resistor or potentiometer. So there is also a variable features in our resistances ki you can change your value of your resistance. So this that type of resistors we called it as a variable resistors. So very basic diagram we have to see here: carbon film, carbon composition, variable resistor. So one by one we will discuss the resistances. So first of all is the wire wound resistor. The first commercial resistors made by form by wrapping a resistive wire around a non-conductive rod. So, if you are talking about the basic feature of our resistance, so that is a non-conducting rod where you have wrapping a resistive wire around that particular rod. So, rod was usually made of some form of ceramic that has the desired heat properties, since the wires could become quite hot during the use. So that is a basically if we any current or flow through that wire, and resistance will offer the resistance to that oppose the flow of current. So there may be a heat will be generated, and due to this generation of heat, that wire could be very little bit hot. and cape with leads attached were then placed over the ends of the rod, making contact to the resistive wire. So usually nickel chromium alloy is used as a wire for wire wound resistor. So you can see here this is a ceramic rod and this is the wires which we have to wound around the that particular rod. And we can also protect the protective coating layer in our outside of our resistor. And this is the two sides there are the end cape as we have to already discuss. So the value of wire wound resistors remain fairly flat with increasing temperature but change greatly with frequency. So that is a basically frequency dependent property of our resistor. It is also difficult to precisely control the value of resistance during construction, so that must be measured and sorted after they are built up. So it is also controlling of that particular resistor during construction is also it is a difficult task for us. Now we will see here the carbon composition resistor and what is the basic property of our carbon composition resistor. So by grinding the carbon into a fine powder and mixing it with the resin, a material then that can be made with the different resistive value. So we will make a different resistive value. So conductive leads are placed on each end of the cylinder for this material and unit is then heated or cured in an oven. The body of resistor is then painted with an insulating paint to prevent it from sorting it touched by another component. So we will provide it by painting process. We will provide the resistances. So you can see here this is the carbon and resin mixers. There is an insulating paint and this is the conductive wire. So the finished resistors are then measured and sorted by the value. If these resistors are overloaded by a circuit, their resistance will permanent decreases. So it is important that power rating of the carbon composition resistor is not exceeded. It will be according to what values we have. It is decided. So that is again carbon film resistors are made by depositing a very thin layer of carbon on a rod. So if you want to design a carbon film resistor, so that particular ceramic rod will be uh, we will deposit a very thin layer of carbon. The resistor is then protected by a flame proof jacket since this type of resistor will burn if overloaded sufficiently. So you have done this type of protection for this. Carbon film resistors produces less electrical noise than carbon composition and their values are constant at high frequencies. If we are working on the high frequency, values will be constant. So you can see here, this is a ceramic rod and we will carbon film layer, we will coat it a carbon film layer. This is a flame proof jacket we have to already provide it. You can see in this diagram. This is the almost. Now we will see you can substitute carbon film resistor for most carbon composition resistors if power rating are carefully observed. The construction of carbon film resistors require temperature in excess of. So that is basically when we are constructing the carbon film resistor. So there is a temperature that is equal to 10 to the power 3 degree centigrade. So now we will discuss about the metal oxide resistor. So all these are the types of resistances, and we will design these resistance according to their material. So metal oxide resistor are also constructed in a similar manner as the carbon film resistor, with the exception that film is made of tin chloride as temperature as high as 5000 degree centigrade. The metal oxide resistors are covered with epoxy or some similar plastic coating. These resistors are most costly than others and therefore are only used when circuit constraint make them necessary. So that is not frequently used by us because it will be costly. These resistors are also made by depositing a film of metal, usually nickel alloy, onto a ceramic rod. These resistors are very stable with temperature and frequency, but cost more than the carbon film or carbon composition type. So that is a costly metal film resistors are costly for us. In some instances, these resistors are cased in a ceramic tube instead of a usual plastic or epoxy coating. So that is basically based on the ceramic tubes. Now we will switch to the variable resistance. And what about the variable resistance? So when a resistor is constructed, so its value can be adjusted and it is called as a variable resistor. The basic elements present in all variable resistors. First, a resistive material is deposited on a non-conducting base. So you can see a thin layer of resistive material, non-conductive base material, wiper contact, stationary contact. So next, stationary contacts are connected to each end of resistive material. Finally, a moving contact or wiper is constructed to move along the resistive material and tap off the desired resistance. So there are many methods for constructing the variable resistors, but they all contains these three basic principles. So resistances in series, if you are have to connect your resistances in series, so all resistors must be in additive form. So R1 plus R2 plus R. If our resistances are connected in parallel, so that is 1 by R, that is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So that is connected in the parallel format. And voltage drop V across I dot R. So if you are talking to the how much voltage drop R in across the resistance value, so that depend on the value of resistance and current flowing through it. If we have to want to calculate the power dissipation P, that is equal to I square R, or either you can also write it as a V square by R. So this is the formula which we have used in calculating the voltage drop and power across the resistance. Now there is a color code. So what is the role of color codes? If you have to given any resistance and you want to calculate the value of your resistance, if you have given a resistor and you have to know how much resistance offered by this resistor, so component, so how you can identify it? So according to that we will code, we will basically done the coding, okay, of this. So if we are talking about the coding, so these wires are coded with colors to identify value and function. So a particular color code is used for that particular, and by reading that particular color code, we can identify the value of our resistance of that particular resistor. So what about the color codes? How you can know about the color code? So standard resistor value and color. So components and wires are coded with colors to identify their value. So how you can define? So generally components or wires are coded some color and these colors indicate the value. So according to that, register color coding uses the color bands to identify a register's resistive value and its percentage of tolerance with the physical size of resistors indicating its what is rating. So that is basically we have to also know about the percentage of tolerance. What about the tolerance means about the minimum and max value, there may be certain relaxation in movement of our resistive value. So that is the basically tolerance level of our color coding. Generally, the resistance value, tolerance, and voltage ratings are printed on the body of a resistor as numbers or letters when resistor's body is big enough to read the print. So, such as large power resistor. So, if you are working on the, yeah, if I am using the, I am using large power resistors, and the size of register is sufficient, then their ratings are given to that particular register. But if resistances are not sufficient size, so we have to face problems in printing purpose. But when a resistor is a smaller, so if we are talking about the smaller resistance means 1 by 4th watt carbon or film type, print is too small to read, so specification must be shown in the another way. So this is a basically color coding methods. So suppose you have taken the black, brown, red, orange, yellow, green. These are the main base colors, and according to that, these we have to allot a digit 0 to 5. So according to that digits number, we have to multiply. If we are talking about the multiplier, so what about the multiplier? Multiplier is the basically the digit uh, which you have to allot it for that particular code, and base 10 you can take that value of that digit for the power purpose. So if you have a brown color and digit is 1, so that is 10 to the power 1 multiplier. If orange, that is the 3, so multiplier is 10 to the power 3. So in this way, this is a very basic table. And if you are brown and red color, the tolerance is 1 and 2%. And if you are talking about the green color, it is the tolerance of 0.5%. These are the another colors: violet, gray, and white. So we have done this classification according to their resistance value. This is the gold and silver, and that is a basically range into the minus side. So that is the 10 to the power minus and 10 to the power minus 2. And there is a tolerances. We will see in our some numerical, I think so, not pure numerical, but that is basically numerical terms, so we can represent it. So suppose you have to given the 4 band, means 4 band code, so you have to given the 4 colors for you for taking the value of our resistance. Suppose you have to given these color: digit, multiplier, and tolerance. If the that is the 4 band code, so 2 strip is for digit, third strip is for multiplier, and fourth strip is for the tolerance. So in if you can also see कि there are 4 band code, and there is also a 5 band code in which first 3 strips are working as a digit. In 4 band code, four first 2 strip is work as a number. So but लेकिन and third is work as a multiplier. But if we are working on the 5 band code, so first 3 strip is used as a digit, and fourth one is used as a multiplier, and last fifth one is used as a tolerance. The colors brown, red, green, blue, and violet are used as a tolerance code and on fifth band registers only. And all 5 band registers use a colored tolerance band. So the blank 20% band is only used with the 4 band code. Three colored bands plus a blank band. So that is basically the tolerance is basically 20%. So you can see here yellow, violet, and orange. Here 3 strips are given. Yellow and orange will make 47. Multiplier is 3 with the tolerance of plus minus 5%. So here the this fourth strip is just a tolerance of our resistors value. Now you can see the green, red, gold, silver color code. So that is, there is also a different codes, and this is also a four band code. Yeah, again I have to given the four band. So first two band will be used as a digit, third one is used as a multiplier, and fourth one is indicate as a tolerance. So suppose you want to read this one, so green and red colors. So here that is the basically comes into a certain criteria, and that is the we have to decide it. Okay, how we can calculate the resistance value. So these first two layers, we can take the numerical value of that particular strip. So you can write down that suppose there is a 5.2 ohm. So that is basically you have to calculate the digit, and third one is the multiplier. So you have to multiply that by a particular multipliers, and then after then there is a tolerance limit, and that is equal to as per the other materials. We can see here again, just see. So just you can see here, these are the bands, and these are the tolerance level. Okay, so now you can see here, I think it will be, you can see violet. If we are talking about the violet, so power digit is 7, so multiplier is 10 to the power 7. If there is a gray code, so digit of gray code is 8, so multiplier will be 10 to the power 8. So sometimes first two strip, three strip, we have to write down the digit. And for third strip, if we are talking about the four band, so for third strip, we will use the multipliers, and fourth strip will be used as a tolerance. So there is a slight fluctuations in the accurate value of your resistance. So that value will be vary between that tolerance range. If you are talking, so that is the digit. So you have to remember this particular sequence. You can also read out it as a B B R O Y B B Roy G, Great Britain has a very good wife. So that is just a sentence. By using throw, you can just read out these colors in a flow. So that is basically B B Roy, Great Britain has very good wife. So according to that, B B Roy, so black, brown, red, orange, yellow, uh, green, blue. So Great Britain, very say violet, good say G, wife say W. So that is you can just pick a first alphabet of your that particular word, and then you can assume that particular color. So according to that, you can indicate it as a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is basically a flow that we will use. And if you have to decide the digit, so there is no problem to decide the multiplier. So that is base. So if a violet is coming in place of third, if you are talking about the four band structure, and violet is in place of third, so we will use the multiplier 10 to the power 7. But if this violet color is come into the first and second strip, so we will use the digit number. So just I will again see the, suppose we will see again four band structure. So first two digit will indicate as a digit, after that multiplier and the tolerance. If you are talking about the five band code, so first three strips will use we will use the digit, fourth strip color will indicate the multipliers, and the fifth strip color will indicate the tolerance. So there is a so many tolerance of gold, silver. So that is basically how we can differentiate it. So as we have to already seen, this is the four band. So first two will indicate as a yellow and violet. So that is the 4 and 7. Third one multiplier. So that is a 10 to the power 3. So that is a 47 kilo ohm. And fourth one is the silver gold. So that is a plus minus 5% tolerance. So this is an accurate value of resistance which we can read by using this diagram. In another one, green, red, gold, silver color. So you can know green and red means green for that is a digit is 5, and again red, this is a digit is 2. Again you have a Third layer is gold. After then gray. So if we are talking about the gray, so that is the plus minus 10%. That is not the gray, that is the silver. So that is the plus minus 10% tolerance. And third one is the gold color. So just you can see in our table. Just we have to move little bit. What about the multiplier of the gold? So gold multiplier is 10 to the power minus 1. So your value will be 5 2 into 10 to the power minus 1 means 5.2. If you are talking about the silver, so gold tolerance is plus minus 5%, silver tolerance is plus minus 10%, and if you are talking about the multiplier, so that is the equal to the 10 to the power minus 1 and 10 to the power minus 2. The blank means nothing, so that indicates that 20%. Suppose you can see here, again diagram, just wait. Nothing, blank, that indicates the 20% tolerance limit used with the 4 band code if you are talking. So 3 colors and a blank code. Now this is we have to also already calculate it. Now we will see this type of band. So what will happens here? White, violet, black. So that is the white. That only this is blank. So that is a white, violet. So according to that, the register colored white, violet, black would be 97 ohm with a tolerance of plus minus 20%. When you see only 3 color band on a register and you know that it actually 4 band. Okay, so according to that, that is since it is a 4 band and fourth color is missing, so you can take the tolerance of plus minus 20%. Again, you can see it is a 5 band, so that is the orange, black. So first 3 digits will be indicate as a digits, and fourth one is indicate as a tolerance. So yellow, so that is a 3 3, and black is 0, so 3 3 0 into 10 to the power. According to brown, there will be the multiplier, and purple is indicate as a 0.1% tolerance. So by using that, so first of all you have to remember that table. So that table will be very important for us, because without remembering, so how you can know. So first of all, as I have to told you that particular sentence, BB Roy Great Britain has a very good wife. So according to that coding, so you can particular pick a first alphabet of that particular line, and then you can make a table. And according to table, the digit will be 0 to last numbers, and after then there will be the multiplier. So by using that particular, you can read out. Now next register is the brown, green, gray, silver, and red color. So this is also so register colored brown, green, gray, silver, red, which so that would be 1.58. So 158, and tolerance limit, if we are talking about the tolerance limit, so that is a plus minus 1 2%. So that is the red color. Now again you have a blue, brown, silver. So again you can write first three is for digits. This one is for multiplier, and last is for tolerance. So you can use this also. So that will be the register value. Now second passive component will be the capacitor. So now we will see here what about the capacitors. So if you are talking about the capacitor, we have to already study capacitor. So what about the storage? Storage device, capacitor store the voltage. Just very in basic common language. So capacitors are component that can store the electrical pressure, means voltage, for long period of time. So this is a very basic property of our capacitors. And when a capacitor has a difference in voltage, okay, when capacitor has a difference in voltage between its two leads, it is said to be charged. So the two plates, we can also told it there may be a voltage difference between the two plates. A capacitor is charged by forcing a one-way current to flow through it for a short period of time. So this is also charged by forcing a one-way current flow. Now it can we will see what will happens once your capacitor will be charged. So it can be discharged by letting an opposite direction current flow out of the capacitor. So that is a basic property, and capacitor store the electrical energy when charged by a DC source. So that is also store the storage of our electrical energy. It can pass alternating current, but it will block the DC current, except for a very short charging current called the transient current. So that is basically it will block the DC current, and it is only pass the AC signal, because you can see according to resistance value 1 upon 2 pi C. So that is a basically that is the capacitance is inversely proportional to capacitor. So there are many different types of capacitors used in electronics. Each type is made from different materials and different methods, as we have to already see. Capacitors are also made to handle the different amount of electrical pressure or voltage. So basically, if you want to handle the different amount of pressure or voltage, you can use the capacitor. Each capacitor is marked. So generally, there is a marking scheme also. Each capacitor is marked to show the maximum voltage that it can withstand without breaking down. So that is basic property. Now, all capacitors contain the same fundamental parts, which consist of two or more conductive plates separated by a non-conductive material. So that is basically two or more conductive plates separated by a non-conductive materials. So as the construction features of this, the insulating material between the plates is called the dielectric. So that is basically a dielectric material and insulating material between these plates. So this insulating material we will know as a dielectric. The basic elements necessary to build a capacitor. So here is a lead 1, lead 2. There are two plates. In center of two plates we have take the non-conductive materials, and the plates are our conducting material. So these two plates are separated by a non-conducting materials, and there are two terminals, lead 1 and lead 2. The most common form of capacitor is constructed by tightly wounding two foil metal plates that are separated by a sheet of paper or plastic. So that is basically a conducting. Two conducting plates are separated by a non-conducting material. By picking the correct insulating material, the value of capacitance can be increased greatly. So if you are using the proper insulating material, so capacitance value will be increased, but the maximum working voltage is lower. For this reason, capacitors are normally identified by the type of material used as the insulator or directors. Now, what about the dielectric constant and what is it? The dielectric in a capacitor is the material that can withstand electrical pressure without appreciable conduction of current. So that is a basically how much amount of electrical pressure or a voltage will be handled by our capacitor. So it indicates the dielectric constant of that particular material. So when a voltage is applied to a capacitor, energy in the form of an electric charge is held by a dielectric. The only perfect dielectric for a capacitor in which no conduction occurs and from which all the stored energy may be recovered is a perfect vacuum. So that is the only perfect dielectric for a capacitor. So there is no in nothing else the conduction process, and all stored energy may be recovered in a perfect vacuum. So the dielectric constant K is the ratio by which capacitance is increased when another dielectric replaces a vacuum between these two places. So it is a basically ratio of capacitance is increased when another dielectric replaces the two plate. So you can write the different dielectric amount of hours. So if you are talking about the air, so dielectric is air is one. If we are talking about the alcohol, so dielectric will be 25. Beeswax, that is a 1.86. Castor oil 4.67. Glass flint density, so that is equal to the 10. Glycerin 56. Mica 7.5. Paper 1.5. Paraffin wax 2.25. Porcelain 4.4. Quartz 2, and water distilled 81. So that is the basic values of your dielectric constant. So now we will talk about the capacitance and how is it calculated. So the amount of charge a capacitor can hold is measured in the farad. So in practice, 1 farad is very large amount of capacitance, making the most common term used microfarad or 1 millionth of a farad. So there are three factors that determine the capacitance that exist between the two conductive plates. The bigger the plates are, surface area. So if you are talking about the larger plate or bigger plate, so that is the surface area, and higher the capacitance. So as you will increase the surface area of your plates, capacitance will be increases. Capacitance C is directly proportional to area A. The larger the distance between the two plates, smaller the amount of the capacitance. So capacitance C is indirectly proportional to the distance D. Larger the value of dielectric constant, more the capacitance. The capacitance C is directly proportional to the dielectric constant K of the insulating material. And from the above factors, the formula for capacitance in farad becomes the C, that is equal to 0.244 K A n minus 1 D. So where C is equal to capacitance in picofarad, K is the dielectric constant, A is the area of one plate, N is the number of plates, and small d is the distance between the plates. So this is the notifications, and this is the formula C, that is equal to 0.244 K A n minus 1 by D picofarad. So this is the basic. If we have to taking the glass K, that is equal to 10. This is the width of 0.01 inch, and this is a 1 inch height of that particular plates, and 1 inch this is the width. So if we have to put the values, for capacitance will be 224 picofarads. And if A and D are in centimeter, change it into the proper unit. Now we will see the capacitor value and marking. So the older style, how you can mark the value of your capacitor, and how you can mark marking that particular values on capacitor. So there is older style of capacitor, they are marked with color dots or wings similar to the resistor. So we will also use the color strips in our transistors sometimes. But the advances in technology has made it easier to print the value, working voltage, tolerances, temperature coefficients, or characteristics on the body of our capacitors. If you are talking about the capacitors, a dielectric requires marking to ensure one lead is always kept at a higher voltage than the other. So there may also be marked which lead will be higher voltage. And we will also see in our diagram the different types of capacitors, and in table 4 gives the standard value used and the different methods of marking these schemes. You can see here, this is a basic capacitors. In all these capacitor, if there is a sufficient surface area, so we can directly print the values on this particular part. So that's the basic components. Capacitor markings vary greatly from one manufacturer to another as above table. So there is a slight variation in marking strategy. So value of capacitance may be marked directly on the part as shown in column 4 and 5. So there may be just 0.001 μF. Here you can also write it as a 1000 μF. So there is a slightly marking schemes. If number 102 maybe also for 10 to the power 2. So that is the basically 10 to the power 3, 10 to the power 2. In some instances, the manufacturer may use an R to represent the desired decimal point. The tolerance is usually printed directly, so generally we can print our values on the capacitor. And when it is omitted, the standard tolerance is assumed to be 80% to minus 20% for electrolytics. And capacitance change with temperature is coded in parts per million per degree. So that is basically it. 1000 or 0.022% or by a temperature graph. So we can see the details. So you can see here. Here is the voltage are given. Code we are using for represented capacitance value in one format. We can also use that value in another format. You can also write in 10 to the power something in this form of your values. So that is in fifth column 102 means 10 to the power 2, 103 means 10 to the power. So that is the basic marking stamina, and these are the tolerances of different colors, and we will use this. And there is also a small brief notation. Now capacitor symbols, how we can represent our the capacitor. We will see here use to represent. So symbol indicates the capacitor is polarized and lead marked with the plus sign must always have a higher voltage than the other. So in capacitor we will mark the plus and minus values for indicating the higher voltage and lower voltage. The curved plate with sides and minus sign also indicate the capacitor is polarized, and these leads must always be at a lower voltage than the other lead. The arrow crossing through the capacitor indicates of capacitance is variable. So you can see if you are talking about the non-polarized capacitor, so there is no need to indicate the polarities. But if you are talking about the polarized capacitor, so in symbol we have to mark which one is the higher voltage or potential. These are the standard, these are the polarized capacitor, and these are the variable capacitor. So there are some objective questions. We can just see this objective questions how we can solve these. The flow of current in one direction. So that is the one. How much voltage and current? What is the name of that particular? When two conductive plates are moved closer together, so what will happen? Capacitance will increases or decreases. So for this, you have to read out our lecture completely. The name given to the material between a capacitor. So what is the material, but in which name we will call that particular material? And another one is the electrons flowing in or out of a wire. So now what will happen if the size of conductive plates is increased? What will happen in capacitance value? A capacitor will block AC voltage. So that is what is the role of capacitor, which signals it will be blocked and which signals it will pass. The electrons are forced onto one plate of a capacitor. So what will happen when we are forcing? Capacitor lead that is marked with plus must always be at the higher voltage than the other one, and a small disk capacitance marked as 100 as a value. So you have to find out that particular methods. And very large dielectric capacitor marked 100 has a, so you can just see. So that is equal to 100. So large electric capacitor marked 100 has the value. So what is the role of that? You can directly put it as a microfarad. If a dielectric is changed from air to distilled water, the capacitance will either it will be decrease or increase. So you have too much study in our lectures, then you will be able to solve this. And dielectric that store energy with no losses. So what will happen here? So we have to read out these different values. That is the flow of current through the materials, pressure that pushes the electrons through the material, what type of values we have to know about. And that is the basic questions of semiconductor material that allows the electrons and that produces electrical friction and restricts. So what type of passive components property these are. So you have to know very well about this one. Register is made by wrapping a wire wound, ceramic wound. So what type of these are the basic classifications. You have to know how we will make a resistor. And resistor made by heating powder and raising in an oven. So what type of registers we are making by using this. So I think you have to clear how you what about the tolerances preferred value for 5%. The amount of what is a register can handle is determined by the in which amount. So that is the basic questions of objective questions of over this. So I think we will be better in understanding the what about the resistance, what is the basic property of resistance, what is the color coding. If you have to given the different color strips in your resistance, so how you can easily read out the value of your resistance, because it is not possible if the size of component is very small, so it is very tough to print the accurate value of that particular. So that is the basic reason of that particular value. And amount of wattage a resistor can handle is determined by this one. So that's all. I think you will be comfortable in what is the working of our resistors and how our capacitor will work and how we will make a capacitance and types of capacitors. Okay, thank you.